And one of those things was a felony. And so I got arrested.
The world of professional wrestling is no stranger to controversy, drama, and shocking twists. But this time, the line between scripted storylines and real-life chaos has blurred in ways no one could have ever anticipated. Fans woke up to earth-shattering news that has taken the WWE Universe by storm. Liv Morgan, one of the most beloved figures in WWE, has been arrested following an alleged physical altercation with AEW sensation JADE CARGILL. This jaw-dropping incident has sent shockwaves across the industry, and the reactions from fellow wrestlers, fans, and insiders have been pouring in non-stop. Among those speaking out is none other than WWE's current Women's World Champion, Rhea Ripley, whose response has only fueled the flames of an already explosive situation. Let's dive into the full story, breaking down every stunning revelation and Rhea's powerful reaction that has the entire wrestling world talking. The incident reportedly took place in a high-profile public venue where tensions between Liv Morgan and JADE CARGILL, two of wrestling's most talked-about stars, boiled over into a physical confrontation. According to eyewitnesses, what began as a verbal spat escalated into an all-out brawl, leaving onlookers stunned and security scrambling to intervene. Within hours, news broke that Liv Morgan had been taken into police custody, sparking a media frenzy. Fans were left in disbelief, struggling to reconcile the typically cheerful and resilient Liv with the shocking reality of her arrest. Rhea Ripley, never one to shy away from speaking her mind, took to social media shortly after the news broke. Her response was both measured and fiery, embodying the confidence and intensity that have become her trademarks. "This is wild. Never thought I'd see the day when Liv would get herself into something like this. But hey, the wrestling world is full of
WWE vacating the women's tag titles? Now what is the next step for the WWE's Women's Tag Team Championship now that one half of the champions is injured? Bianca Belair and JADE CARGILL's second reign came to a halt after fans learned that Jade suffered a real-life neck injury. However, will the WWE strip the two titles or allow the EST to find a new partner? Russell Votes is providing some details in a new report. Again, I'm working on nailing down the details, but I'm hearing that they're gonna have to strip Bianca. Yeah, these belts are cursed. I mean, this happens time and time again. Now, it's hard to believe another WWE Women's Championship tag team has been sidelined due to an injury, a situation that has fans debating about the supposed curse on the women's tag titles.
surprises. Let's see how this plays out. Rhea commented during a live Q&A with fans. Her words were far from dismissive. If anything, they carried an undercurrent of intrigue, suggesting that there may be more to this story than meets the eye. Rhea's reaction has prompted fans to speculate wildly about the implications of this incident for WWE, AEW, and the broader wrestling landscape. Some see it as the prelude to a groundbreaking crossover event, while others believe it reflects genuine animosity between the two wrestlers. Wrestling forums and social media platforms are abuzz with theories, memes, and debates, with everyone from casual viewers to die-hard enthusiasts weighing in on what could be one of the most controversial moments in recent wrestling history. As the news continues to unfold, insiders are beginning to shed light on the events leading up to the confrontation. Sources close to the situation allege that tensions between Liv Morgan and JADE CARGILL have been simmering for months, fueled by competitive rivalries and personal grievances. While specifics remain scarce, some have suggested that the altercation was sparked by comments made by Jade during a recent interview, in which she dismissed Liv's accomplishments in WWE as overhyped. For her part, Liv has not yet issued a public statement, leaving fans and critics alike to speculate about her side of the story. Rhea Ripley, however, has not held back in addressing the broader implications of the incident. During a post-match interview, Rhea shared her thoughts on the potential fallout for Liv's career and the wrestling industry as a whole. "This could change everything," she said. "Liv's always been a fighter, but this is a whole new level. It's one thing to handle your business in the ring. It's another to let things spill over into the real world. I just hope she comes out of this stronger because this kind of stuff can break you if you're not
against anyone who's alongside anyone who's nearby. Chelsea Green, like, that would have been so class as well. Yeah, it's a shame in this.
Yeah, they could have done this sort of thing where Naomi's sort of Bianca Belair's devastated about Jade Cargill and she doesn't know what to do, and Naomi comes up and be like, I've got some really good news. And Beck's like, have you heard about Jade? And I was like, well, no, but I was speaking to SmackDown GM, I can't remember his name, and he's let us doing Freebird rule with the big three. So I'm going to step in as champion. And Bianca's like, oh, great. Any news on Jade? No, but we'll get some anyway. Come on, Bess, let's go to work. But yeah, indeed, obviously with them now potentially being stripped of these titles, that does open the division opens up the division for somebody to potentially get a title shot, and indeed then cast the net wider on who did it, because suddenly you have a bunch of other people who will benefit from the injury. Yeah. You mentioned Chelsea Green, but like someone like her and a Piper Niven, you would like to think didn't do it, but can be put in the frame if all of a sudden they like get a run with the title or something like that. So
careful. The champion's willingness to address the situation head-on has only further cemented her status as a leader in the WWE locker room, even as the details of the incident remain shrouded in mystery. The arrest of Liv Morgan has also reignited discussions about the challenges wrestlers face in balancing their on-screen personas with their off-screen lives. For years, critics have pointed to the pressures of the wrestling industry, from grueling travel schedules to the intense scrutiny of fans and media, as factors that can push even the most level-headed. Address the incident during a live stream, where she appeared unfazed by the controversy. People want to make me the bad guy here, but let's be real, Liv made her choices. Jade said, I'm not the one who got arrested. I'm not the one who lost control. If she can't handle the heat, maybe she's in the wrong business. Some have praised her for standing her ground, while others have criticized her for what they see as a lack of empathy. The war of words between the two women has turned into a full-blown spectacle, with fans eagerly awaiting the next twist in this unfolding drama. For her part, Rhea Ripley has remained steadfast in her support for Liv, even as she acknowledges the gravity of the situation. At the end of the day, we're all human, Rhea said during a recent interview. We make mistakes and we those moments. I believe Liv has the strength to come out of this better than ever. And when she does, I'll be there to welcome
Cargill out for a few months. Now it looks like the rumors that Jade Cargill's kayfabe injury was set up within PW Nexus are confirming Jade is indeed injured, as Dave Meltz has reported, and the 3-month time frame is a best case scenario, and it's reportedly a neck injury. Her WrestleMania spot is currently in limbo due to this and could be out up to a year. This is a major setback for Jade, who the WWE clearly has big plans for, as seen by her 2 tag team reigns with Bianca Belair. It's unknown what the WWE's WrestleMania plans for Cargill were, but given the way the WWE's hinted at a Jade-Bianca breakup, it's likely that they were planning a singles match between the two. Speaking of the Women's Tag Team Championship, it's unknown whether the WWE will strip Jade and Bianca of the titles or allow Belair to find a new partner. One thing is for sure, this latest injury to someone holding the title is certain to renew fan debate whether the tag titles are really cursed. Next up is Stephanie.
Welcome her back. Speculation is rampant about how this will impact Liv's future in the company, with some insiders suggesting that her arrest could lead to disciplinary action or even a storyline suspension. Others believe that WWE might seize the opportunity to incorporate the controversy into their programming, blurring the lines between reality and fiction in true wrestling fashion. Regardless of what happens next, one thing is certain: the arrest of Liv Morgan and the ensuing reactions from figures like Rhea Ripley and Jade Cargill have created a moment that will be remembered for years to come. It's a story that transcends wrestling, touching on themes of rivalry, redemption, and the ever-present tension between personal and professional lives. For fans, it's a reminder of why they fell in love with wrestling in the first place, a world where anything can happen, and where the drama is as real as it gets. As Rhea Ripley herself put it, this is just the beginning. The wrestling world is watching, and we're all waiting to see the most compelling sagas in wrestling history, a story that will keep fans on the edge of their seats, waiting for the next chapter to unfold. The world of WWE has always been one of electrifying performances, jaw-dropping stunts, and storylines that and glamour lies of brutal reality. Professional wrestling is as dangerous as it is captivating. Over the years, controversies, injuries, and rivalries have shaped the history of WWE, creating a legacy that is as much about resilience as it is about triumph. In this deep dive, we'll explore the darker side of the wrestling world, focusing on controversial injuries, their impact on wrestlers' careers, and the incredible stories of those who fought back against all odds. As we unravel the complexities of safety,
we all remember how that ended. Trish ended up being Lita's backstage attacker and costed Becky and Lita the tag team titles. So it's unlikely that they'll copy an exact storyline like that happening so recently, but maybe we can end up seeing a version of that scenario take place here between Naomi, Jade, and Bianca. Maybe Naomi does fill in as an interim women's tag team champion for a bit, and she becomes uncomfortable with the idea of handing the title back over to Jade Cargill. She feels like she defended it several times, so she should be the champion with Bianca over Jade. And maybe this could be paired up with the reveal that Naomi did plan the attack on Jade Cargill for this exact reason, to move her aside and take her spot. We have to remember that Naomi won the women's tag team titles back in 2022 and vowed to elevate the titles, but her mission was cut short due to the walkout.
Legacy and redemption in WWE. Prepare to be captivated by tales that define not just a sport, but a culture. Controversial injuries in WWE history have often sparked intense debates, drawing attention to the physical toll of the sport and the protocols meant to protect its performers. One of the most infamous incidents involved Stone Cold Steve Austin and Owen Hart at SummerSlam 1997. During the match, a botched piledriver left Austin with a serious neck injury that would ultimately contribute to his early retirement. Fans remember the moment with a mix of horror and awe as Austin, despite his condition, managed to pin Hart and finish the match. Decades later, Austin would reflect on the incident, saying, "It was a defining moment, not just in my career, but in how the industry viewed the balance between performance and safety." Unlike Austin, Draws's career ended instantly, a stark reminder of the risks wrestlers face every time they step into the ring. The incident led to calls for stricter safety measures and training, but controversies have continued to emerge, raising questions about whether enough has been done. These incidents and others, like Bret Hart's career-ending concussion after a kick from Goldberg or Edge's forced retirement due to cervical spinal stenosis, highlight the fine line WWE walks between delivering unforgettable moments and ensuring the well-being of its superstars. Each case brought a renewed focus on safety, yet the recurrence of high-profile injuries suggests a deeper issue within the industry. Could the current controversies be signaling a need for even more rigorous safety protocols, or are they similar? Current incident rocking WWE, involving a top-tier wrestler sidelined by a shocking injury, has reignited these concerns. While details remain
Survivor Series spoiler. Now it's time for a spoiler on the Women's Survivor Series match, so if you're allergic to spoilers, please head to our next story. We always have the timestamps in the description. Partner, but who will actually answer the call? Thankfully, fans won't have to wait until Survivor Series as WWE taped the 29th November Smackdown, revealing Jade's replacement. WrestleTalk reported on what happened during the taping for next week's Blue Brand, including the Women's War Games segment. Bianca Belair, Naomi, Bayley, Io Sky, and Rhea Ripley came out to hype up War Games. Then Liv Morgan, Nia Jax, Raquel Rodriguez, Tiffany Stratton, and Candice LeRae came out to stir up dissension, saying it's funny that Jade got attacked and now Bayley is on the team. All 10 women start fighting until the security and agents run out to break them up. What do you guys think of Bayley's addition to the team? Do you think that's who really attacked Jade? Let us know in the comments.
Remain scarce. Early reports suggest a freak accident during a live event, leaving fans and insiders scrambling for raising questions about its impact on title matches and rankings within WWE's tightly structured divisions. As one fan commented on social media, this isn't just about one match or one wrestler, this could change everything. For the injured wrestler, this setback could mean the end of a title run that was just beginning to gain traction. On the flip side, WWE has a long history of turning adversity into a compelling comeback story. Could this injury, devastating as it is, become the catalyst for a future championship triumph? The unpredictability of WWE is part of its allure. Consider Triple H, who famously tore his quadriceps during a tag team match in 2001, only to return months later with one of the most iconic comebacks in wrestling history. Fans still remember the thunderous ovation he received at Madison Square Garden, a testament to his resilience and the storytelling genius of WWE. Similarly, Edge's return after 9 years of retirement due to spinal issues is a shining example of how the company can transform setbacks into triumphs. Wee's role in helping injured wrestlers resurrect their careers cannot be overstated. Beyond the physical for stars to rebuild their personas and connect with audiences in new ways. Daniel Bryan's miraculous return after a career-ending diagnosis is another inspiring chapter in WWE's book of resilience. Bryan himself often credits WWE for believing in his potential to overcome the odds, once saying, "The people who doubted me fueled me, but the people who
SmackDown has a pretty big new storyline going on with Jade Cargill that can trails. So let's dive deep into this Jade Cargill situation on SmackDown, because this is something that had everyone buzzing. So while in the middle of Bianca Belair's United States tournament match, the camera goes on backstage to show Jade Cargill fully taken out on top of a car backstage. After having a moment of conflict between deciding if she would stay in the match or go check on Jade, Bianca Belair decided to abandon the match and go check on her partner backstage. So Bianca does the honorable thing here.
Supported me kept me going. Can they follow in the footsteps of legends who turned injuries into opportunities, or will this incident become the defining moment of their career, for better or worse? Legacy is a fragile thing in WWE, shaped as much by triumphs as by trials. The aftermath of this injury could cement their place in history. Whether as a cautionary term implications, it's impossible not to consider how past controversies have shaped the legacies of WWE superstars. Shawn Michaels, for instance, overcame a devastating back injury to not only return to the ring, but also redefine his career, earning accolade as one of the greatest performers. TA, whose injury abruptly ended his rise to stardom, serve as poignant reminders of what could have been. As fans, we are drawn to wrestling not just for the action, but for the story. The current incident, though shrouded in uncertainty, has all the makings of a classic WWE narrative. Whether it becomes a tale of triumph or tragedy depends on what happens next. Will Slayer rise to the challenge and redefine their career? And perhaps most intriguingly, how will WWE, a company certain the wrestling world will be watching? Fans will rally, critics will debate, and the superstars will continue to push the limits of what's possible. Because in WWE, as in life, it's not just about how you fall, it's about how you rise. And for the wrestler at the center of this controversy, the next chapter has the potential to be their most memorable yet.